Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If it's your first time here, my name's Gary, aka the Plastic Boy. Hello if you're a new subscriber. If you're returning, what's popping off? Today I thought I'd do a story time. I actually had another video planned for today, but I was just like, is that really? I just don't know if it was like a Wednesday. Well, I'm not sure if it was like a Wednesday moment. Maybe it was like a Thursday moment or maybe a Tuesday, but I just thought it wasn't Monday or like a Tuesday. It just wasn't a moment. So I thought I'd do a story time, seeing as you guys love my story time. So I thought, you know what, why not do this one story time I wanted to do a video about for a long time. So I thought, why not? So if you guys want to see what happened when I crashed my first car, then keep on watching. Okay, so I'm probably not going to be speaking about what products I'm using, but a lot of them are new products. So I'm going to be using the Maybelline Super Stay Foundation, Anastasia Beverly Hills Eyebrow Pen, new highlight. Everything's going to be listed down below, so don't worry. If you need to know what all the products are, just refer to down below. Everything will be listed, links. You guys, I got you, so just don't worry. Oh, good. My 2021 resolution is to learn. Oh, good. Oh, good. Before I start, I'm going to do my brows first because I can't speak into my brows. So I'm going to use, can you see the Forever Mood candle? Can you see her burning? Okay, so I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow pen and medium brown. Oh my god, this is so dirty. Hold on. Let me use my top as a little towel. Oh my god, this is so, look how blurry this is. Like, who is seeing through that? Okay, so I'm just going to do like a little brow moment. You guys know I love the Benefit one as well, the microblade one. But I've just been trying to get a few other brow pens. This mirror is from Ricky. Everyone always asks me, but yeah, this story time is going to be about the first time I crashed my car. It technically wasn't a crash, it was someone's fault.
Oh.
So, meaning me, but it's actually a really funny plus scary story because I was only 17, so I thought I'd do my brows first because who can speak while doing their brows? It's like speak while doing liner. It's just a bit much, even though this brow pen is kind of like a liner pen. So I'm literally just doing small strokes. I'll normally do my brows after, but because I'm using, or they're getting a bit thick, because I'm using my pen, I do it first. With this, you have to, it's so hard to use, I'm not gonna lie, it's really hard, but you have to like, just know the pressure of your finger, but I had to practice makes perfect, even though I like there, but then it gets a bit thicker there, which I don't love, but
you know, practice makes perfect.
Story time's coming. I just used a bit of Too Faced Chestnut Concealer. I think this is concealer for so long. Okay, so let's begin. So this story has a lot of backstory behind it, but I'll break it down. So, you know, in the UK, if you're watching from somewhere else, you can actually start driving from 16 or 17? We've got to be 17, but you can get like your learners at 16, I think. Yeah, 16. But I know in the US, you can start driving at 16, yeah, or like younger. I'm not sure what it is, but anyway, yeah. So when I turned the age, I got my driving permit, as we say, and I started learning. I was so, this is like, I think this is probably the most determined I've ever been in my life. Well, one of the most determined, and I passed at 17. Like after 2 goes, like I was like, you know what, I'm gonna drive. I just had this like image in my head, me driving in the motorway, my roof down, and just, you know, how it. So anyway, I passed, and my first car was a smart car roadster, and as a first car, it was a banging car. Like it was a 2-seater, it was like a convertible, it was really low, it was like efficient, and it. Guys, the car was just banging. Anyway, this car was outside my nan's house for like maybe 2 months because it was like a gift, and it was purchased for me like ages ago. And every time my nan was like, "Whose car is that? Whose car is that?" I'm like, "I don't know whose car it is." But anyway, anyway, so I passed my test. And I was just so happy. I was like, oh my god. But in the UK, you have to do this test. Like, you don't have to. It's not like mandatory. But anyway, so you have to do this test if you want to like learn how to drive on the motorway. So I didn't do that. So anyway, me and my friend at the time, one of my besties, was like, oh my god, let's go into Manchester, because every time we used to go into Manchester, our other friend used to drive us down there, and I'm not sure how I did it back then. I used to drive down to Manchester, And well, he used to drive down to Manchester, and he used to drive back up the same night. Would go partying, drive back up the same night, and then go straight to work. I'm not sure how we did it. It was just actually crazy. Then after I turned like 18, and then I was really scared to drive to Manchester by myself, like, or with a friend, because I just never had the experience of driving so far. So anyway, one weekend we were like, let's drive to Manchester. So we both got ready. What foundation we're wearing? So we both got ready. New Maybelline Super Active wear. So we both got ready, got our asses into gear, we're fully beat. But I don't think we were fully beat, so we bought our makeup bags. And I don't remember why we bought our makeup bags. I think we always used to bring our makeup bags to touch up. So we drove to Manchester. It was really, really cute. You know, we arrived there safely. Driving wasn't an issue. The roads were dead. And it was just really, really fun. So anyway, we're driving back from Manchester. I think it might have been 2 o'clock at night. And we stop off at this service station because my friend really loved Red Bull. So he was like, stop us so we can get a Red Bull. And at this time, I was like, why are you drinking a Red Bull at this time? Like, we're going to drive back home and go to bed. But anyway, I think I had work basically at 8 o'clock in the morning. So back in my day, I was so crazy. Like now, I could never go out, obviously post-COVID. I could never go out and just party then go straight to work. I would honestly have a nervous breakdown.
I know that's right.
I would have a heart attack. My body would honestly fail by the second hour. I just can't do it. When I was in uni, I could do it, but not now. So anyway, yeah, we park up now. My friend drives into the petrol station. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was a BP garage, and I kind of parked up. But there was someone using the petrol barrier thing in front of me, and I parked up behind it, and it was like a chocolate covered van. It was almost like one of those family cars where, you know, it's long at the front, and at the back it's kind of big, so you can fit like dogs and like suitcases in there. So it was one of those cars like that. So anyway, I also insert a picture of my car, which is a smart roadster. It was so cute and I miss it so much. I still drive a smart car, but I drive a Smart 4 too. So I don't know, it's just one of those cars that are like really efficient. So anyway, my friend's going to the petrol station, and I'm like, okay, hold on, it might have been before we got to Manchester. No, it actually was before we got to Manchester. It wasn't after, I'm so sorry. Because I was thinking, why would I go in my makeup bag if I was going home? So anyway, it was before we went to Manchester. Sorry, this story was years ago. You guys, I was 17. Was I 17? I think I was 18 because who's getting into a club illegally? So anyway, so yeah, my friend was going to the petrol station because it was before we got to Manchester, and I was like, oh, let me just like, you know, touch up my makeup, because while we were driving, the aircon was on, my makeup was getting a bit hot, it was getting a bit sweaty, and I started touching my makeup up. Yes, I started touching my makeup up. I was, you know, applying the Studio Fix powder with the moisturizer that I was wearing back in the day, and I remember just like, I'm not sure why I did it. Yeah, I put my makeup bag like in the corner of my where, you know where your legs are, like the passenger side. It was right next to there near the clutch. So anyway, I'm there getting ready, like I'm proper like touching up. I'm like doing my foundation again, I'm doing concealer, blah blah blah, and then my friend comes out and we're proper like busting joke while we're waiting to like, you know, head off. So I was like, let me just finish my makeup, man. We're like, calm down. Anyway, he's drinking his Red Bull, and he starts touching up. This car still in front of me. And we both had finished, and then we were like, okay, let's get ready to go. So anyway, me being stupid, why am I dying? So my makeup bag had obviously rolled to where... why am I dying? It's so funny.
I'm like, Cordy.
So my makeup bag had obviously rolled, yeah, to where it rolled to where the accelerator was. So I had meant to press brake, but because I didn't press brake, no, hold on, what happened? I'm trying to think what happened. No, my makeup bag had rolled to the brake, yeah, and so it couldn't push the brake. So I thought, oh, maybe I'm pressing the accelerator. So I pressed the accelerator down hard, yeah. Why did my car go flying? When I say flying, it went flying to this woman's van that was in front of me. Honestly, my heart stopped at that point. How can I crash into a parked car? Like, this only would happen to me. When I say it was mad, it was mad. Sorry, I just have to move that. I want you guys to see the fragrance. It looks cute there. It looks cute there. So I'm just putting on some concealer. So anyway, this story actually flipping kills me. So, hold on. How am I putting on concealer on first? Oh, guys, you can tell I'm all over the place. So yeah, anyway, my car went flying into the other car. When I say it was crazy, so while this is happening, yeah, This woman is already in the petrol station paying for a petrol card. You know what's crazy? This happened years ago, yeah, and I know exactly what that woman looks like. If this woman was supposed to walk past me in the street, I could easily like identify her. This is like, you know, when crime watch happens, and then you see all these like robberies, and they're always like, can you identify the person? I could identify the person. So my memory, especially my photographic memory, is so good. So anyway, this woman had glasses on. She had like chocolate, like mousy brown hair. You know, one of these ones. And I remember she had 2 kids, and luckily she took the kids out of the car. Imagine if she left the kids in the car. Listen, I'd probably be in prison. But anyway, child. So this has happened now. The crash was loud. When I say this woman sprinted out of the petrol station, she sprinted for her damn life. Luckily, she brought her kids along with her. She's like, what the fuck are you doing? You crashed into my car. You crashed into my car. And you know what? I didn't know. Her dog was in the damn car. Her dog was in the car. Obviously, we couldn't see the dog was in the car because we were just seeing from obviously the driver's side and the passenger side. Because my car was really, my car was low. Like my car was like this low. So when I was driving, yeah, we could only see like this. That's how low the car was. So anyway, her car was in there, her dog was in there. This woman was probably swearing at me. I was like, oh, calm down. I was like, oh, calm down. But I was like, why are you running your mouth for? Like, it was an accident. Like, your kids were in there, you were in there. And obviously, because my smart car was like, the material that it's made out of, it's like, it's not plastic, but it's like, the car was obviously like environmental friendly. So it wasn't like a big, chunky, like, hell of a beast. So it hit a car, but it was, the damage wasn't even that bad. It was like maybe like a scratch or a dent or two, but you know, it could easily be replaced. Like, calm the hell down. And because her car wasn't like, it wasn't like a Range Rover, it wasn't bougie. I'm not trying to like downplay her car, but it was just like one of those cars that were like, it was kind of like a Volvo, but it was like an old Volvo. So I was thinking, okay, I can pay for the damage, but at the same time I was scared because this was my first crash. And obviously when you're 17, 18, you know what? In the States, they measure your insurance by the car. No, they measure insurance by the car, and in the UK they measure your insurance by your age and the car. So our insurance here is much more expensive. So people in the UK, we can't drive Lamborghinis and like Ferraris at 16 like you can in the US. Maybe you can if your parents are like, you know, Dwayne Johnson or something, but here we just can't do that. So I was probably like shaking, being like, oh my god, my insurance is gonna be crazy. So anyway, she was like, can I take your details? I was like, yeah, but she had a proper attitude. She was like, you've hurt my dog, you've hurt my dog. My dog's hurt. I'm thinking, babe, you need to really calm down. Like, I literally went 2 miles per hour, maybe 1 mile per hour. Your dog's fine, your dog was at the front, your things just hit. So anyway, she took down my details. And when I say I was shook, I was just so scared, it was too much. Okay, so yeah, we took each other's details down. And then she was still like running her mouth off. She was like, you have to pay for the damages. My dog's really scared. Honestly, like, because it was my first crash, I didn't even know what to do. I remember just, who did I ring? I think I rang my sister, rang my friends, and I was like, even my friend was like, what the hell? It was just so crazy because it was in the middle of nowhere yet. It was one of those service stations where, you know, when I haven't seen black people before, so they're obviously on this woman's side. It was so annoying. I was just like, let me just get this sorted before the police come. And obviously, we got it all sorted, but she was still like, you need to pay for these damages. You've scared my dog. Blah, blah, blah. Her kids, because she was shouting, she made her kids start crying. And I was like, it's about 2 o'clock in the morning. Why are you even out with young kids? You know what I mean? Like, this was like back a day. So anyway, the details have been taken. And then obviously we had resolved it, and then I just know after you give them your details, they normally tell them insurance, and then the insurance contacts you. And then after that, I was just like, oh, I'm just so over it. I didn't even want to go to Manchester anymore. I was just like, I'm so over it now. Like, it's kind of ruined the mood. Like, you know, I'm so scared. My insurance is gonna go up, and then I'm not gonna be able to afford this car. So anyway, we went to Manchester, but you know, after you've had an accident, you're just kind of shaken because it happened so abruptly and so fast. You're just kind of like, what the hell? What did that just actually happen to me? Rewind. And obviously it was my fault because I left the makeup bag near the pedal. But obviously you don't want to admit that because you should never admit fault when you even crash into someone, even if like it was your fault. Obviously if it's something crazy, but obviously because that happened, I was like, ciao. Anyway, but obviously it was my fault. But so we drove to Manchester. It was a really good night anyway. I kind of forgot it happened. Then when I got back into the car, I was like, shit, that actually happened. So I drove back home. Obviously weeks have gone past, and then I got a letter in the post. Was that a letter or an email? I think it was a letter. I know it was an email. I'm not sure what it was. It was so long ago. And it was actually a letter, and it had said, you know, Mrs. Smith has filed a claim, just to say that you had accident into her, you went into the back of her at this petrol station at this time, and she feels scared. You know what this heifer tried to say? She tried to say one of her kids were in the car, and her kid got hit, her kid had gotten whiplash, and the dog was in there. But I swear you not, both of her kids were in the petrol station. I can swear on my mom's life, because when she had left the petrol station to see what had happened to her car, both of her kids were in there. So I was thinking, how can this heifer lie and say one of her kids were in the car? So I was just so shocked. I remember bringing my sister up being like, oh my God, this woman said one of her kids were in the car. Like, what the hell? She was like, it's fine. She's probably just trying to get more money out of you. So I think the lawyer had said, instead of taking this through insurance, we are just asking you to pay for the damages and for the emotional distress of what had happened. So I think this woman was asking for £7,000 in what, no, I think it was either 7,000 or 8,000. I know it was over 10K. So I was like, what?
That's so upsetting.
What? I don't have that kind of money. Who have that money at like 18 or 17, especially back then? Being 17 and having that kind of money, that was a lot of money. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, I just felt sick being like, I just started to cry because I was like, where the hell am I gonna get this money from? But at the same time, this woman was lying. She was blatantly lying. So I'm obviously not gonna give her this money because you are lying. So by this point, I was just so sick of everything. I was like, why would this woman just try and do this to me? Like, obviously I knew she was wicked from the petrol station. But you know what? When people have like crashes or anything, actually, especially now, like everyone just wants to get more money out of you. Like, I've got a friend that actually had an accident maybe a few weeks ago, and the guy was really cool. The guy was just like, you know what, if you just pay for a motorbike, it's totally fine. The next thing you know, he's getting a claim saying that, you know, the guy tried to attack him, and then he kicked the bike, and that actually didn't happen because there's no cameras. Yeah, you couldn't even prove that. So people are just wicked when it comes. People just want money off you. So when she tried to say her child was in the car, I was actually really upset because that actually didn't happen. Do you know what I mean? If it did happen, I would just admit it, but it actually didn't happen. So obviously I had to get lawyered up. So it was actually really mad. Anyway, I was just like at the petrol station. I remember the time because I had called someone at the time. I remember the time it happened and everything. And I was just like, you know what, this woman's children were not in her car. I know that I didn't realize the dog was, but the dog was actually in her car. And I remember taking videos of everything. What phone did I have at the time? I can't remember what phone I had. What phone did I think? I'm not sure what phone I had, but anyway. I took pictures of everything, and obviously I got the deets, and her children were outside with her, so I'm not sure why this woman was lying. Got the petrol station details along at the petrol station, asked me to go get footage, and when there's video with cameras around, only police can get the footage. Or obviously we did report it to the police. Did I report it to the police? Yeah, report it to the police. You have to get a crime reference number, and they managed to get the footage and stuff. But we had to wait. It was just so long, and someone was probably taking the piss. And I remember my lawyer actually writing back to her lawyer saying that these are false accusations. Your children were with you as reported by my client while you came at the petrol station, and we know that your dog was with you. And so we were just going backwards and forwards. And then after that, she tried to lower the amount, saying she wants this amount for the car. Then I'm like, no, but you tried to lie, saying that your child was in the car. So you can only imagine how stressful it was on me, guys. Even talking about it now, my energy is just gone. Because I just remember how draining it was. And at the time, I was working... Was I working at Gucci? Where was I working? No, I was working at bank. And it was just too much. And obviously, going through this, it just isn't fun. Because you're thinking, well, I'm not paying out this money to you. And obviously, I don't want to take it... I don't want to go without the insurance. I want to go through insurance because I'm not paying you all this money directly to you. So put in a claim, bitch. You have to put in a claim. So we went through insurance, and then obviously after that, we decided to go through insurance. And obviously I got my insurance involved because obviously this was... I can't even speak. This was going to be like a serious case. So this woman wanted to sell outside insurance because she wanted the money directly, which wasn't going to happen, bitch. It was not going to happen. Okay, sorry, the delivery guy came. So, I just did a bit of content on my nose. You know this Maybelline foundation? It's actually so matte. Even when I put my Too Faced Born This on, it dried so fast. This is such a good foundation. I flipping love it. I'm wearing the shade Coca. We're going backwards and forwards, and we managed to find the clip from the petrol station. Oh, you're lying. We found out that obviously I was right. There was no child in the car, so sis was lying. So then obviously it went for insurance, and she filed out this claim. And then she tried to say that her car was significantly damaged. But my car was much newer than hers, not in a bad way, but she had like an old Volvo, which was nothing wrong with. But obviously I was happy to pay the charge, but sis was trying to say that her dog was injured and everything. So It was just crazy. So anyway, we kept going back with the forth, and I was like, no. Then her insurance company was like, no. Her lawyer was like, no. And I was like, no. Like, I hit your car so soft. You can see by the video that all I did was I pressed the accelerator and went boom, like that. Like, no one was hurt. I wasn't hurt. My car wasn't even scratched or anything. Her car was just like, it just had a little scratch in it. I was happy to pay the damage, but she was saying that her dog like was scared and shaking. I'm just like, you've got a big ass dog, calm down. Obviously I was like showing remorse for the dog and stuff. I was like, sorry, blah blah blah. But no, she was trying to just get money out of me. From your lying scandal, the whole claim should have been dropped anyway, because you're trying to do a madness and say that one of your children was in there. Lying ass bitch. So we kept going backwards and forwards for when I say it was long, it definitely was about a year, maybe less. It was just, even my friend was like, is this still going on? I was like, by then, I don't even think I had the smart car anymore. Like, I changed it just because I wanted a 4-seater, because when I first started, even though I drive a 2-seater now, 2-seaters are really hard, especially when I lived in Birmingham. I had family. I was just like, you know, especially when I wanted to pick up my friends and family, it was just really hard. Either one of you get in the car or two of you are getting a taxi, because I ain't dropping both of you. Actually, there was one time when both of my cousins got anyway, that's a whole other story. So anyway, it was just kept going backwards and forwards. Guys, when I say it was draining, it was so flipping draining. Then, because it had taken so long, they really wanted to take it to court, even though I'm not sure, it was like a small claims court. I'm just like, why do you have to go to court? Like, it's not even that deep. Like, all I'm trying to say is I want to pay for your damages. I'm not paying for, like, no flipping dog, whatever, trauma. Like, do you know what I mean? So anyway, I was just happy to go to court just to get this over and done with, because by then I was getting ready to move to London. Well, I was just about to get ready to move to London. And I didn't want this whole drama on me. So anyway, after we decided to do that, I didn't hear anything from her. Well, actually, time went on, and then 6 months went by, then a year went by, and I was like, to my life, is this still going through? Like, and then my lawyer was like, no, just wait. There could be, like, you know, this could still, like, you know, resume. Like, this happened, and then a year and a half went by, and I was like, we say anything, or do we know? Anyway, and by this time I was living in London, and I was just like, imagine if this like comes back to like haunt me in the ass, or if she still tries to continue. Should I be doing a video about this? Because imagine someone sees this video, then connects 2 dots together, and then she sees me and tries to open. So anyway, yeah, after that it just disappeared, and then my lawyer was like, you know what, let's just leave it. If it isn't going to continue, then why not? So obviously the woman didn't get contact, the lawyer didn't get in contact, the whole court thing didn't happen, and I was just like, is this normal? Like, after all that backwards and forwards, this woman just went quiet, and I was like, is she still alive? Is she still in the country? Has she fled the scene? Has she been arrested for credit card fraud? I don't know. But anyway, all I knew was I'm about to hit the A-town, move to London, and this was above me, because I'm not about to call her being like, excuse me, what about that claim you're trying to pursue? Because if you've forgotten, I've forgotten. And that means I've saved some pockets. So that's what happened, guys. Like, nothing ever came about it. Like, she didn't even write a letter. She didn't try and pursue the claim. Her lawyer wasn't in contact. So I'm not sure what happened. But all I know is my black ass weren't going to investigate to see what was going on, because it was above me. It was honestly above me. So the moral of the story is never put your makeup bag next to the accelerator, because you're honestly gonna hurt someone. And that was what I did. Like, when I think about it now, I was such a dickhead. Like, why would I put a makeup bag right next to the accelerator? But because it was a 2-seater, the boot of the smart car was actually at the front. So for me to get to the front, the boot, I had to get out the car. So that's why I did it, and it was so long. But yeah, so when I think about that story, it's actually funny at the time, but I actually could have really hurt someone. So when someone asks me about if I had like a car accident, I'm like, no, but actually but it actually wasn't a car accident because it wasn't on the road, but it was me standing at a petrol station going into the back of someone. But touch wood, I've never been in a car accident, but you just never know. There's some crazy people here on the streets, but you know, so that's why I'm just like, oh my god, that was a story time. So I'm still actually gonna complete this makeup look. It's actually really natural. I'm gonna put on mascara. I'm not gonna put on any eyeshadow or anything, because my eyes at the moment are really sore. So I'm gonna use this mascara by Maybelline. It's called Sky High. This has been one of the most viral mascaras ever, and I think maybe it's one of those mascaras where you have to have long lashes, because the way I've been seeing people use this, and it's making those lashes look like spider legs. Let's just try and see before I end the damn video. So I'm gonna go like that. This mascara isn't gonna do anything for my tiny ass lashes. I can already just sense it. Like, you definitely have to have. Hold on. Oh, hold on. Okay, so to finish with the look, I'm gonna go in with one of these new Maybelline lifter glosses. I actually remember seeing this in Jacket on this video, and when I was out, I was like, oh my god, it's one of these glosses. So this is in the shade Stone 800. They're coming for Fenty. So okay, that is the end of the look and the story time. I hope you guys enjoyed the story time. I know it was short and sweet, but that story time was crazy. I actually really love this Maybelline lifter mascara. You can actually really see it. Like, I've got really baby childish lashes, so, and they're super curly, so it just really kind of defined them. Like, I still prefer the Benefit by Gel mascara because that's like the best blackest mascara out there for small lashes. But yeah, this is like a cute natural look. Everything we listed down below. Hope you guys enjoyed this mad story time. And don't forget to don't put your makeup bags near the accelerator. If you guys want more story times, definitely comment them down below. Love you guys so much, and I shall see you on Friday for Sip and Slay. Hope you guys have a good day. Bye.